Okay, let's see here. I took the wrong path, but somewhere over there is the field. So not where you see the grass, but over there, that's the field. Hello. Right, so I thought I'd take you through like the path I usually walk with my significant other, the love of my life, whom I made my album for. Basically, we go down this road. I do love winter a whole lot, and I wish that we could have winter all the time. Just have a look at this view. Wintertime is like the only time where I really feel I can be, I don't know, in my most calmest place. The album art actually does mean something, but it started out, quite frankly, as me trying to find a good way of doing a good album art thing, or an album art piece. I don't know how to put it, but I actually did Google the best album art in the world or something like that, and I found this blog post, and right at the top there I found this thing. I like the idea of a color scheme like that, and I wanted to do something like it. So Sophia, the love of my life, she helped me because she does this graphic design in her job, and I figured that if I did it, it would take days, and if she did it, because she's so good at it, it will only take a few hours. Well, it only took an hour, and she absolutely got what it was I was trying to do, and that's one of the reasons I love her so much. She really gets me. I'm a tutorial maker. I make videos on how to do stuff with music on YouTube, and so whenever I've made one of these mellow tracks, I've also made sure to make like a video for it, like a music video of sorts. Every video has a thumbnail, and every thumbnail or video has like a color in it that is like brighter than anything else. And maybe some of you have already guessed it, but if you look at the album art, you can see these boxes, these colored boxes. And if you have a look at all the thumbnails for our videos, you can see a correlation there, because what I basically did, or what me and Sophia did, was we took the dominating color in each of those thumbnails, and then we just made colored boxes and put that on the album cover. The album cover background is kind of dark. It's just before black, kind of. It's a color I love, and if you look at all of the places where I'm at, like every time I open up the YouTube app, I'll just turn it into night mode. If you look at my Bandcamp, you can see that it's got the same thing right there, like the dark background. My old webpage used to have that too. It's just a color that I like a lot, and I can't help it. Now, one of the hardest things actually was the order of the tracks for my album. I needed the whole album to feel cohesive and, like every song mixed well together. And if you take the titles and you put them together in a certain way, then they become a poem. And so each track has part of that poem as a title. Now, this is the problem, because when I put the tracks together in this order, according to the poem, the whole album felt wrong. It didn't melt, it didn't blend, it wasn't cohesive. It became something else. And what I ended up doing was I just put the titles, or I put the tracks in the order of which I produced them. So suddenly the album was cohesive, it melded together, it was right, it was made whole again. So I had to break the poem in order to fix the album. For almost 30 years now, I've been seriously dabbling with music. And during all of those years, I never ever properly learned how to play conventional instruments. I've played some drums, I've played some guitar, I've had the time to learn, but I just never had the interest in learning. Not even with keyboards and pianos. So I never got good at playing. I learned just enough to get by, basically, so that I could sit and pick out ideas and make some melodies, and yeah. So it turns out that even though I can't play that well, I can make some. It's gonna sound so contrived when you're talking about your own music, but you have no idea how satisfied I am with this album. Like, each track has a specific melody to it. I mean, you can hear the overlapping sound in the whole album. You can hear the Jakob Haq sound in there. You can hear the mellow album sound. It's all cohesive, even if it ends with a grand finale type of track where loads of synthesis is being introduced, and each and every one of the track have their own specific unique melody to it. And I was able to do that without knowing music theory. So yeah, it is really helpful to know music theory, but do you need to know it in order to make music? No. I've been working like this most of my life, and I get this question a lot, on my channel, like, hey, Jacob, what should I do? Should I learn music theory? Should I not? I don't have the patience for it. My answer to you is, if you don't have the patience for it, then don't. Just start making music. It's gonna sound really bad in the beginning, even for people learning music theory. Your music is gonna sound bad. But just keep doing it. Do it until it sounds good. I mean, you're only able to judge how good your music are according to how good you are at making music. So even though I might think that my album sounds great, there's a lot of people out there who would say, hey, your album is crap, man. And that's okay. I'm really just satisfied that I was able to do this, because this is my first time making music like this. You see, I've made a lot of music in the past, and I've made everything from hip-hop to drum and bass and proper EDM music, house music. I mean, I've made all kinds of music. I've even worked with artists and bands making punk music and rock music, death metal even. So my taste of music is kind of wide, but this is the first time I make something like this of my own. The mellow sound is new to me, completely new. So I basically just sat there in my sequencer application, which is an app called Cubasis on my iPad, and I played my 3 chords that I found, like, in my head. I know how to play a few chords, so I play those chords, and then I sit there in the sequencer software moving the notes around until I find nice overtones, and I copy paste stuff, and yeah, that's what I do. So these tracks aren't played most of the time. Like, all of the melodies have been sequenced in one way or another, which in some way you lose the human touch to it, like the quantization. But I've tried to move notes around, and I don't know. I'm just really happy with my sound.